let's chat. Put your listening ears on and talk to John. Hey everybody, John here of 2 for Gaming, and let's chat. Yeah, baby, we're back. Did I do one? Oh, I did do one of these last week. I did one on a random day. I remember now. But we're back once again. Let's chat. What we're going to be talking about? Well, let's find out. I never know. Let's talk about E3. What did I think of E3? It was fine. It was middling. That's to be expected with Xbox just after announcing next gen coming out holiday next year. So next year will be the big next gen. Because obviously PlayStation are probably soon to announce their next gen console release date and stuff as well. Probably around the same time. Who knows? I'm just guessing. Yeah, I think next year is going to be the big one. This is like an in-between year. But having said that, there was a few games I definitely was hyped for. A game I was definitely hyped for was The Outer Worlds. Obsidian's new FPS RPG. If you don't know, they're the makers of one of my favorite shooters of all time and one of my favorite RPGs of all time. Just one of my favorite games of all time. Fallout New Vegas. Just love it. I love being able to, like, what I love about it is that, and what I thought Fallout 4 was missing, because Fallout 4 is ZeniMax, is it? Or is it ZeniMax? I'm not sure. Maybe it's just Bethesda, but I'm not sure about Fallout 4. But Fallout 4 was a character. I know you're always a character in Fallout, but I like the whole silent protagonist thing. Where, like, to say, like, Fallout New Vegas, you were a courier and you do have a backstory, but you wake up with amnesia. So it's kind of like you. I know that's the big thing to do in a lot of games. Like, let's say Half-Life, you were Gordon Freeman, but Gordon Freeman was a silent protagonist, so you kind of put yourself, when you were making decisions with Freeman. Did I say Gordon Freeman? I did say Gordon Freeman. I hope I didn't say Morgan Freeman. When you're making decisions with Gordon Freeman, because he doesn't say anything, like, it's you. And the thing about Fallout, what I love about the Fallout games, as it just shows there in the trailer, you can just pretty much kill everyone, and the game will change around what you did. You just fail that mission, and then people will hate you of that faction and stuff. So I'm really hyped for this. I hope it lives up to my expectations. I love Fallout New Vegas, and I'm really looking forward to this one. Of course, if you know anything about me, you know the other one I am completely stoked for is The Elden Ring. The Elden Ring is, as you can see coming up on the screen, is world created by Hideki Miyazaki and George R. R. Martin. It's basically the creator of Dark Souls and the writer of A Song of Ice and Fire. So, like, like the possibilities. As you know, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro. Never played Demon Souls. I started getting into it when Dark Souls came out. Around when I remember the edition I got was the Prepare to Die edition that came out with the Artorias DLC. So that's when I got into Dark Souls. Obviously, there's fans who were there from the beginning. I got it through word of mouth. But ever since then, Dark Souls 2, loved it. Dark Souls 3, loved it. Bloodborne is my favorite. Sekiro is very, very good. But yeah, it's just, I love the style. Like, this could be anything. This doesn't even have to be a Dark Souls-esque game, but just look at it. He looks like the fucking Nameless King. Miwan looked like the fucking Firekeeper from Dark Souls 3. There's fucking Thor version of Andre, the fucking blacksmith. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's so good. I can't wait. It's only, again, a lot of CGI teaser trailers here, but it's like when a director you like or a franchise you like releases a new movie. You know what you're getting into, and you know it's going to be fucking good. He's never let me down. Miyazaki's never let me down. So if you've got George R. R. Martin getting the lore in there as well for the story, amazing. I think it's going to be a good one. And let's hope so. I can't wait. Honestly, they were the two I was the most hyped for. I know I'm not like everyone else. Like Halo didn't get me hyped. Like it was like Borderlands 3, I'm hyped, but that wasn't really an E3 reveal. That was I watched the proper hour-long Twitch reveal where they showed off a load of gameplay and story elements, blah blah blah, that they did like a good month before E3. That got me hyped for Borderlands 3. I am hyped for Borderlands 3, but that wasn't really an E3 thing too much. Cyberpunk, Keanu Reeves, you're breathtaking. It was fun. It became maybe a bit too big of a meme afterwards, but I was watching the Xbox conference live, and I thought that was pretty neat. I didn't go mental like some people did, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Like a lot of people are arguing that like shouldn't matter having a big name star in a game. Number one, I don't think it's a ploy because I've all the faith in the world with CG Projekt Red after The Witcher 3, obviously, to make a great game. So I didn't need Keanu Reeves to sell me. But, like, it's just cool. It's not like they didn't have to. People are going to buy that game anyway. It's just a nice little addition, and they know their audience. They know Keanu Reeves, John Wick. They know he's, like, one of the most liked celebrities in the fucking universe, let's be real. And they knew that what they were doing. They knew the hype was going to be great. I think it's a great move, a great strategy, market strategy for them. They didn't have to, but it was good. I'm not like I wasn't fucking gushing over it. Like I wasn't like, oh my god, it's Keanu Reeves. But I was actually cool. That's actually really cool. What else? Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm not completely sold, but I'm more optimistic than I was. I was always that guy in the conversation that when Final Fantasy VII Remake came up, I'd be like, hey, but sure, blah, 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 blah. I was always the guy that was like, would always say, it's stupid, they shouldn't be doing it, and it's a bad decision because if they change too much of it, people will be mad. If it stays too much the same, people will be mad. It was a lose-lose situation. But I don't know what it was. When I saw the gameplay reveal, and I'm not even the biggest fan of that Final Fantasy 15 style combat, but when I saw the characters and I saw the graphics and I saw how different it was, and I know this is probably the fighting mechanics, I mean, and this is probably the opposite opinion of a lot of people, that actually swayed me. I was like, I think I was one of those people that were like, you don't know what you want. That's we learned that when I was in college about making games or apps or stuff like that. People will always ask for what they know. So if you're trying to make something innovative like say like the iPhone, that was such a revelation when Steve Jobs came out and said, it's a phone, it's an iPod. It can browse the web. Nobody was asking for that, but when people saw it, they were like, of course. Why didn't I think of that? So people don't know what they want as a consumer. So that's why it's really hard to market to people. Because if you do market research, generally they'll ask for stuff they already know, and they find it hard for them to perceive new stuff. So when I was always against. I was like, oh, they're going to change the combat system. That's stupid. But when I saw the new combat system, I was kind of like, do you know what? I already have Final Fantasy VII, the original, and I could always play that. But this actually looks kind of cool, and I wouldn't mind playing Final Fantasy VII with this combat system. I don't know why. It sold me. It sold me a little bit, and I was the biggest skeptic of it. But yeah, I am still skeptical on the way they're releasing it. Like over on the Republic of Players podcast, Ronan, Jack, and Pat brought up a good point. I think it was Ronan that brought it up. The collector's edition seems to be for like that 200, 300 euro one with Cloud on the bike, and you get the extra summons and you get a load of shit. Is that only for episode 1 though? Is there going to be a collector's edition? Because they're saying like episode 1 is as big as a game. It's a game in its own right, and we're going to be like spreading them out. So you're going to be getting fully fledged games. So you're going to have to buy a collector's edition for part 2. Well, if you wanted all the collector's editions, we'll say. And if you're buying them physically, how's that going to work? It's weird. I don't know how it's going to work, and they haven't really said much on it. I'm going to be I don't get collector's editions because I don't really care about having a little statue, and I'd rather not spend €200 on a game. You know what I mean? And I pretty much get everything digitally these days, so it's not a problem for me. I was just going to buy it digitally, and I thought maybe there'd be a season pass, but if they're making them fully fledged big individual games every time, then maybe there won't be a season pass. Maybe it'll just be you buy them separately every time. And if I liked episode 1, and again, I'm probably different from other people, if they did it like that, if it was 40 euro a pop, 50 euro a pop, if they were a year apart, I'd actually kind of like that. It was like you have something to look forward to, and you buy. I could see that me spending the money if I had to buy an episode every year, more than if they did like every 3 months there was a new episode, which there won't be, because let's face it, how long does it freaking take them to get episode 1 ready? You know what I mean? Anyway, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, weird one, but I'm slightly more hyped about it than I was. I was completely cynical about it. I'll pick it up. I'll give the episode 1 a go anyway. Doom Eternal and Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 fall into a weird category with me that I should be hyped for them, and I hopefully in the future will be hyped for them. But they're both games that I've started and I both thoroughly enjoyed. But Doom, like Doom 2016, whatever, I think it was 2016. Doom 2016 and the original Breath of the Wild, I've started both of them. Played a few hours of Breath of the Wild, played about 2 or 3 hours of Doom. And that's all I played of them. I've never gone back to them. No reason. I think for Doom, it was because I tried to make it a series on this channel, and I don't think it was doing too well, or I just stopped doing it. I don't know why I stopped doing it, but I stopped playing it on the channel, and then I didn't play it. And then Breath of the Wild, I played a few hours on the handheld, and then I just started playing other stuff on the Switch. No real reason. I was enjoying it. So I will have to go back and clear both those games. But yeah, they're going to be good, more than likely. Doom Eternal looked really good with how quick it was moving, with the grapple and the jumps and the everything. That looked cool. Fast pace. And from what I played of the Doom 2016, I did enjoy it. And Breath of the Wild 2, sure, listen, Breath of the Wild, whether I've cleared it or not, it was Game of the Year, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was Game of the Year. Loved by the masses. So, poor Jim Sterling. Poor Jim Sterling. I love Jim Sterling. He gave it a 7 out of 10, which is a grand score, and the internet wanted to burn him down. That's how much people loved that game. He hated the mechanic of the weapon durability and how much like you kill like 3 enemies and you'd have to get a new weapon. And he had 1 or 2 other niggly things wrong with it. And he gave it a 7 out of 10, which is a good score, but every other outlet was giving it 9s and 10s, and the internet tried to burn him down. It was so weird. But Jim's hilarious. He took it with his snidey, sarcastic, "I'm so sorry, internet" tone, for giving it a terrible score of 7 out of 10. Was funny. But yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, that's really all I can say about E3. What else has been going on? I have gotten addicted to meth. No, I've gotten addicted to a video game. Like proper playing it in my own time whenever I can. And that game, my friends, is Escape from Tarkov. Oh my freaking god, lads. Listen, it's not the type of game that I thought I would ever like. It's the kind of game that would always intimidate me. It's the kind of game that I just, yeah, I already said it. A game I didn't think I would really like that much. But, oh my goodness. What is Escape from Tarkov? Okay. It's a game where you get dropped into a map randomly. There's going to be NPCs and player characters on the map also. You are going around and you're trying to loot as much as you can, either by looting containers or killing other players and taking their loot. You want to extract from the map. It depends on the map and when you get in, but you roughly have around for an hour to half an hour to get off the map and find your extraction. However, the maps are really, really big, and the game is based on realism, so there's no markers, there's no nothing. I literally have a map. There's several maps. I'm only doing one map at the moment over and over again because I need to learn the map, and I always have an actual physical map open on my second monitor. The NPCs shoot to kill, everybody shoots to kill. It depends on what game mode you do. I don't need to go too much into detail about it, but the whole thing is you have a stash outside of the game that is your fruit of your labor. That's yours. If you get back to that stash, it's safe. When you load up a character, you take items from your own stash. So if you wanted to go in light, you just take a pistol and a prayer and fucking Godspeed. But if you want to make sure you survive or have a better chance of survival, you could bring like a really good machine gun, a helmet, body armor, blah blah blah. Again, it's based on realism, so every gun has magazines. You have a certain amount of magazines for a gun, but all those magazines, you have bullets. You need to put the bullets into the magazine. So when you're reloading a gun, when you reload, you take the magazine out and you put in another magazine. But if you reloaded again and you only had that empty magazine, if you reloaded, you'd put in an empty magazine. So you need to actually go into your inventory and put bullets into your magazine and then load it. It's very big on realism. The whole thing is, if you get out with more loot than you came in with, it's a win. However, if you die, your own stuff from your stash, everything on your body, is gone. It's gone. And the whole point is to build up your stash, sell stuff either to in-game like NPC traders, or put them up if they're really rare items. Put them up on the flea market, which is like a real person auction, like FIFA cards. You know an auction, but it's made by real people. So the market is determined by how much people put stuff up for on it. Yeah, really, really good. It's also ridiculously difficult. I was watching a thing about it. Like, one of the best player in the world. It's based on like points and money, like how much money you make versus how many kills you get versus how many success rates you have. So it's not just success rate of extractions. The best player in the world has a 50% extraction rate. So the best player in the world of that game dies in half of the matches he goes in. That's the kind of game we're talking about. And that sounds really intimidating. And it's really confusing. Like, there's so many different ammo types, and only a certain amount of ammo can go into magazines. But, like, a magazine can hold, like, maybe 3 different types of ammo. And some ammo is more powerful than other ammo. Some is, like, I'm talking hundreds of types of ammo, like, and different types of magazines. And, like, it's really... The user interface... If there's one argument, the user interface is a bit confusing for beginners. And I'm still lost 80% of the time when I'm like, what fucking bullet goes in what magazine? I thought I'd be so intimidated by this game. And what happened was, and I'm going to give a shout out to people who don't need it, actual famous YouTubers / Twitch people. Team Unity, which, when it comes to Tarkov, is Northern Lion. Like, my favorite YouTuber, definitely my favorite gaming YouTuber. Dan Giesling, who has been playing Tarkov for like 2 years. He recently got the rest of Team Unity into Tarkov. Malf and Austin, they're playing it at the moment. They only started playing it about 2 weeks ago. Again, Dan has been playing it for the last 2 years, and he finally convinced them to play it, and they're all loving it. So they're streaming on Twitch, they're putting up their VODs on YouTube, and I'm watching them. And I just watched them. I was seeing how much fun they were having. Throat got dry. I was seeing how much fun they were having, and I said, sure, I'll have a look. Then I ended up picking up the standard edition, and I played a few offline maps, which were like, you can practice the map, and there's going to be NPCs on the map, but you don't lose anything if you die. You can kit yourself up with all your gear, but when you die, you don't lose your gear, and it's just for practice. And I was really intimidated, and I was still like, even though I was offline, not matter, I was still peeking around corners, blah blah blah, and I was really scared. I was genuinely like, you get this fear when you play this game. But now playing it, I'm still as bad as I always was. But like, it's just, I'm playing it online now, so my gear is on the line. Half the time, there's a thing called scav runs where I don't get into. It's like a free run. You're playing with house money. You don't lose your items. Blah blah blah. So half the time you're not playing with your own stuff, but just so you can build up your gear again if you get low. Anyway, and even I die so many times. I'm terrible at the game still, and I only know one map, kind of, and I still get lost with a map beside me. And I love every second of it. I turn on that game just to look at my inventory. To do like Tetris, you have to you only have a certain amount of space in your main inventory, and you have to try all your loot. You're trying to Tetris it in to make as much room as you can. You can wear backpacks out on trips to have more spaces for loot. But if you have smaller backpacks, even if you have backpacks the same size, you can put a backpack in a backpack in a backpack in a backpack infinitely, so that it's only taking up a certain amount of space in your main stash. And then you can have your last backpack can be filled with items to take more space so you can have more loot. It's just wild. I love it. And the main thing I'm going to talk about this is because I was playing it the other day, and I was like, why the fuck aren't I recording myself play this? So, long story short, even just from a little session I played yesterday, I've 6 episodes recorded. And I'm going to play again today, and I'm probably going to play again tomorrow. I'm literally addicted to this game, and any free time I have that isn't I'm supposed to be doing something, I played for about 2 or 3 hours. So I should have a ridiculous amount of episodes. So I know I said I was going to wind down the YouTube, but it's going to be the same content Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We'll see about Dark Souls 3. I'll talk about that. Hey, editing John here. I forgot to talk about that. So Dark Souls 3. I'm 50-50 on it. The other day, it wasn't working on OBS, and then I was supposed to play it today. I got OBS working again, obviously, because I'm recording this. But do you want Dark Souls 3? I don't mind recording it, but I kind of got this weird twinge, and I was like, I've cleared this game in my own time several times, and I don't really know why I'm playing it again. But if you enjoy it, let me know, and I'll stay playing it. I've no problem playing it, but it might be more fun me playing something that I haven't played before. That's all it really is. Let me know how you feel about Dark Souls 3, and I will stay playing it if needs be. That's really it. Bye. Or not bye, but back to the video. But I think I'm thinking at the moment, I don't know where I'm going to put them just yet. I think for Monday, I think I'm going to do daily Tarkov episodes at like 3 p.m. or 12 p.m. We'll see. And then the normal episode so like I'm talking about Monday through Sunday Tarkov episodes. Because I only had one session and I already have 5 done. And if I play again this evening, I'll probably have another 5 episodes, and it'll be 10 episodes. That'll be a week and a half worth of episodes after 2 days. If I drizzle them out as slowly as I usually drizzle out content, you'd be seeing content from 3 weeks ago in a month. You know what I mean? So, like, I actually think this is the thing I'm going to do. I'll start on Monday, Tarkov, every day. I'm going to start it. Monday, you're going to get an extra episode of Tarkov every single day. So I hope you enjoy it. You don't have to watch it, but I'm going to be making them. And I'm also thinking about, maybe not next week, but the week after, maybe next week. I'm thinking about adding another stream. And I'm thinking about doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. And you know why Tuesday? Actually, I suppose it could work for Thursday. It'll be either Tuesday or Thursday. But the reason why I was going to be Tuesday was because I was going to call it Tarkov Tuesday. More excuse for me to play Tarkov and you get content. So I think Tarkov Tuesday might become a thing. What do you think? Would you Well, I don't really. I do care what you think, but like, just don't watch me. I'm going to be playing Tarkov anyway, and the only reason why I do an extra stream would be to play Tarkov. So, I suppose for you. So there's going to be either Tarkov Tuesday or Tarkov Thursday. I think I might do Tarkov Tuesday. I will do Tarkov Tuesday because I like to watch the Republic of Players podcast on a Thursday. By the way, you should check out the Republic of Players podcast. It's very good. But yeah, Tarkov. It's taken over my life, and I love it. I've only talked about E3 and Tarkov, but I think I want to end it there because I've been talking for a while now. So, what did you think of E3? Were you disappointed with anything? I try to stay away from disappointments. It's just what I was hyped for. What were you most hyped for at E3? Have you ever heard of Escape from Tarkov? Have you ever watched a streamer play it? Or are you completely on my page? Have you played it and do you fucking love it? Let me know. Let's talk about it. Also, if you do play Tarkov and I know you personally, if you're a random person that I don't know, maybe not, but if you're someone I know who's watching this, and if you want to play Tarkov, add me to your friend list, dude. We squad up. You can squad up in that game, and then it's the exact same, but you've got fuckers watching your back, and I'll watch your back while you're looting, even though I suck. But I'll watch your back. I'll take a bullet for you. I'll take a bullet for anyone, baby. Put the word gaming because of E3. Put the word gaming into a sentence down below so I know you got to the end. And as always, I love you. I'll speak with you next time. Bye.
If you've been waiting for falling in love, baby, you don't have to wait on me. 'Cause I've been aiming